Hi guys, it's Rachel here. I'm just turning on my camera. I'm actually, my next order is for a lady. She's ordered a normal sort of journal and a Christmas journal, and so I'm just getting some Christmas ephemera made. So I thought I'd turn on my camera. Got a couple of, maybe one new thing. So these are those. I never finished those, so I'm going to finish those off. This was from last year when I collaged on the book pages. Now I'll move those aside. I'll show you those afterwards. This is just a medieval mirage that I like the colours. They're Christmassy, and I've put on some vintage book page, and I'm going to stitch around that, and that might become, no, I think it'll be like a little journaling spot, and that's the same with that one. I just put that paper on the back. These were the tracing paper ones that I did before. They're actually finished. Why are they there? They can go over there in the box. This is, oh, that's something else I'm going to show you afterwards. That one's not glued down yet. That was the tracing paper on just regular paper. I made this tag here with this antique papery paper and put some old book page. You can see the yellowing there. So that has to be stitched around. These were from the last time. I've got my napkins out. I'm in the hugest mess you can imagine, the hugest, which is why I'm ploughing on. I've got other things I have to do, but I've got to plough on and get this done so I can clean up my mess. So that's just a tag, and it's got napkin on it, and then some old book page and a little piece of napkin that was left over. What is this going to be? Oh, this is going to be a big tag. It's just napkin and book page and just a printed out page. The same here, isn't that gorgeous? And one of my Florentine papers. This is also going to be a journaling card. This is Dreams, etc. Absolutely love that kit. And just some sort of printed wallpaper on the back. This is one of Shabby Dabby Doodah's foldy flippy things. So I need to stitch around it and then stitch my little pockets and then fold it in half, and then this is another one done with Jen's beautiful paper. And then I've just done this one. This is a little Stamperia label. And what I did here was I put on the doily onto the doily, the napkin onto the coffee dyed doily. And then I cut it in half and put it on there, and I thought that's really cute. And so I'll have to do something with that now. And then on the back it's just a bit of collage with different papers, and that is where I'm at. So now I'm just working on, oh, here I've got this one. I just need to put something on the reverse side, and as I mentioned, I am in the biggest mess you can imagine, and so I can't really find anything very easily, and I just decided to turn the camera on while I was crafting. Why not? So if you're opposed to me gluing all the time, move on, don't need to watch. But I am just sharing my process, and there'll be other videos that don't involve gluing. Well, they always all involve gluing of some sort, don't they? There'll be other videos. So anyway, so that's done. Got a bit of straw paper on there, and that's going to be a tag, and I think I'll keep that as a rectangle tag and not a tag shape, if you know what I mean. Now, let's just have a look at this. So I was watching, what's it called? Crafty House by Maria or something like that. If I remember, try my best to remember, I will link it below. And she made these amazing envelopes. And I absolutely love these. I'm going to be making these left, right and centre. So she showed how to do this. I've done mine a little bit differently to her because she had these big flaps here, and then they came over here and she made a pocket, which was really cool as well. But I am really enjoying this. This one I'm thinking I'm going to leave it open for writing on, I thought, but I do need to stitch around it. So that's the first one, and that's just an antique papery paper. Oh, this was the first one I made. So it's an antique papery paper. I got my images the right way up here, but then that is upside down. So you have to make a choice. This will be upside down or this will be upside down. But I don't think it really matters because it's going to be clipped in anyway. But I put a little bit of napkin in there, and I am going to glue this one shut. So I just thought when you open it, you can see the napkin. That was a little bit more fiddly because if you get some glue down here and then the napkin tears off before it's sort of dries, then you've got to wait for that to make sure that's all dry. So that's that one. That one still needs to be finished. And then this one is another. I just used all these antique paper. See, this one, this is upside down here, but then that's the right way up. So you just have to make a choice. I don't think it really matters. And again, this one I'm thinking I might leave it open. I think we might do something to this one and leave it open. So I'll put that aside. So I'll show you how to make one. I have this lovely Nostalgia Graphic Land. I thought this would be perfect. And what I'm doing is basically just using up, I had all these papers printed out from last year. These are great background sort of pages. These are from, I can't remember, is it Digital Courier? I think so. And so I'm just using them up so I can go, you know, move on with the new. So, and you know what, you won't believe it. I've run out of book pages to alter. Can you believe that? That's just something incredible. I have to create some more. So basically, also because these, as you can see, you can just put your glue directly onto your piece of paper. And so I try to get my glue pretty much everywhere, because I really don't want air bubbles. And if you didn't want your envelope to be too bulky, all you would need to do is maybe put the paper on the top third, so that way you didn't you couldn't see where it joined, if you know what I mean, where it ends. Now I am going to be trimming this, so don't worry about that. And then this part wouldn't have it, so it would be less bulky. And then I'm going to get this. Can't seem to do anything without this little card. Now don't forget it's going to be stitched around. So this could be another writing one, I think. Now, I've got to find my scissors. Hugest mess. Huge, 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 huge. So I'm going to trim down here first. I might just trim in a little bit just in case. Oh, I didn't need to do that, did I? Oh well. Well, then I'll just trim the white off actually on the sides, because I'm not thinking now. I'm feeling the pressure of the camera. Okay, so the first thing you do, well, first thing I'm going to do is just trim these bits off here. And then the second thing you do is a fold. Now, Maria used, she used a scoreboard, and I actually do have a scoreboard. Thank you, Wendy. However, I haven't pulled it out, so I need to remember to put. I put it away when I was tidying up, and I keep forgetting to bring it over when I'm crafting. So I need to find a space for it over here at my table. I think that would be better. Okay, it's a lovely day today. It's pouring with rain, and finally it's not 30 degrees. It was been 30, 31 degrees every day until today. So first of all, and I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not measuring. It's about 1 centimetre. Just folding it over. I don't care about the measurements, as you know. I'm just creating in my mind my little flap that even a regular what's it called, envelope would have. If I could find my bone folder, I would use it, but I can't, so I use my nails because my table is a mess. My table is a big mess. Okay, so that's that. Now, in this case, I want that to be upright, so I can't make, unfortunately I can't make, I wanted that to be the flap, but it's not going to be the flap, it's going to be the bottom. So I need to, for my flap, now you can make your flap as deep as you like. So this one I made this deep, this one I made deeper, so you see. So I might fold this up because I want to get this in the right spot. I think I normally fold my flap first, but I want my image to be in the right spot here. Of course, it's not dry yet, so you'll probably get some lumpy bits in there, and that's not too bad. Okay, and now I can fold down my flap. Now I don't want my flap to be, I'm going to trim some off. I don't want that much flap. I want less flap. And I'm actually going to be clever girl and get my cutter. Get my cutter. Do it with the cutter. Maybe about there. Yeah. Get rid of that. Don't want that. Actually, I shouldn't throw that out. That could be, that's been strengthened now. That could be a you know, put on as a pocket or a band or something like that. So what I'm going to do, that's why I want to be able to see at least a little bit of that. So that's my flap there. Now, what I do is I open it out, and this is where I'm doing it a bit different to Maria. I'm trimming off this little rectangle here. When I come to the fold, I'm just going at an angle like that. And then here, who knew? I didn't know that it was so easy to make envelopes, except for, you know, doing the regular fold them up and get a rectangle sort of one, if you know what I mean. Right. So then what I did was I folded it over and I just lined these up more or less, because, you know, I didn't measure anything, so it's going to be more or less. And you can do it at any angle, and then just fold and then cut and then just snip your little top off there. Okay, that'll be fine. Now folding in half, that's what makes it the same on both sides, in theory. I'll say in theory because you never know. Now here again, you could leave these, but I'm not going to because it's very bulky. So what I do is I just trim along my fold line here. And you could trim this one or this one, doesn't matter. You decide. And I'm going to snip it off there at an angle again. And I'll do the other one. And I will be stitching around all of this, but I won't do it on camera, so we have time for other stuff. And then again up there. And that is it, guys. That is the envelope. So that, just fold it down again. So if I want to, I can glue that and put that there. So what I might do, because I had this shorter than my other ones, I'm actually going to snip that down. I'm going to curve it. I'm going to snip it down further so it's not sticking out. See, like that. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see if I can get this more or less similar. So that way it's, oh, there you go. That's better. See? Isn't that a beautiful envelope? Who knew? It's very strong. So basically, if I had printed on the reverse side of this, then I wouldn't need to double it up. Yeah, I wouldn't need to double it up. So someone, I'm not sure if I understood the question very well. Someone asked me about, you know, making envelopes from an A4 or legal size piece of paper and having hidden pockets and things. Well, Maria also addressed that, and it was really fabulous. So I might just grab some. I'll just show you what she did. So I've got some of my coffee dyed paper here. We'll do it with that because then we can decorate that. So basically, what did she do? Oh, she did it. She did a long one. So let's try a long one. See, I don't pay attention. So you always start with your sides. Fold your sides. You know me, just make it up as you go. And Rachel really needs to pay attention. We discovered that when I did Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodahs thingies, that I had to work it out on video because I didn't pay attention. Right, now, then we're going to fold our top. So we'll fold our top down. This is going to be my top. That's how deep it's going to be. It's not going to be that deep because I'm obviously going lengthwise on my paper, and so I have a very shallow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this off at an angle here first, just like with the other one. It's the same process. And there would be two ways, I would imagine, that you can do this. So this is the first way that's coming to my mind. And I think this is what Maria did. Excuse me, Maria, if I'm messing everything up. So what I'm going to do is I'm already going to do this bit here. I might be making a mistake. It's just a piece of coffee dyed paper that I can remake at any time. And just curve it slightly at the top. And then I'm going to fold this up. And I'm going to fold it up a little bit higher than I did the others. Oh, my toilet just made the biggest noise and there's nobody even in there. Okay, so that's that. Okay, and then I'm going to trim off this piece because I'm not using my flaps to make pockets. Okay, and trim that one off. Whoops. Better do. I think if I open it up, it would be that much easier to do. Talk about the bungling crafter. Okay, there and there. Okay, so that's that. So that's my flap, and I could even trim that off a little bit. I probably didn't need that much. So I think we'll glue that down. Just getting my creases going. You'll see this is going to be a little one. It's not going to be big. Just put some glue on there and up there. It's actually a nice depth for my big chunky monkey glue. There we go. Now down you go. Okay, it's not exactly straight, but it doesn't matter. And then I'm just going to fold that in half. And I'm going to fold it the other way in half. Oh no, I've got my crease there. So what I need to do is, and this won't be exactly the same as the other side, but I'm going to go like this. It's not too bad. Okay, so now I've got it double like that. And then what I can do is fold it in half that way. So this is how you make a little, oh, this is really cool, Maria. Great job. Oh, I could have trimmed them off afterwards and done it like that. There you go, you live and learn. So then, I mean, that could go into your signature, but then what I'm going to do is put some glue down here. I'm wondering if this is what my subby was, or the person who watched. I don't know if you're a subscriber or not. If this is what you're meaning. Anyway, it's not my idea. As I said, it's Maria's. I've never seen it before. And then glue that down there. It's not exactly meeting up because of course I don't measure anything, so it's, and I didn't use my bone and my scoreboard thing. I'm going to have to get that out and start trying to use that because I never used one before. So there you go. So there you've got two envelopes, not lining up, of course, and then you've got a pocket in there. That's really cool. That is really cool. And it just needs to be decorated. So there you go. Now that's why I didn't use the decorative paper, because you won't be able to see in there. However, you could use the decorative paper. Just having a little think about that, but you'd have to use a piece of paper. If you want to use the decorative paper, which would be lovely, I recommend printing on the other side, so you don't have to line it. That's what I recommend, because you're doubling it over. So let's try another one a different way. So this one, which that's my least favourite side. This one I'm going to make a bigger one. I'm going to fold this like so. I mean, not that I probably, well, I might put this little one in a journal, but I might not put a huge one in a journal. However, this would be a lovely happy mail or gift for someone. So just fold that down there. So when I do my next one, here's a thought. if I'm doing it like this, so you learn as you go, I need to fold this one the same. So what I'll do, I mean, can you imagine crafting like this? It's just madness. If I pulled out my scoreboard, I could be much more precise, couldn't I? That would just be too clever. We don't want to be too clever in our videos. I've got my ragu going today. And why is that crooked? Who knows why that is crooked? Because I've got crooked eyes. It is very crooked. But it looks like my corners are meeting up, so I don't know about that. That looks better. So yes, I've got my ragu going today. So I'm very happy about that. Does everybody know what ragu is? I mean, in the States and Australia, it's quite often called spaghetti bolognese, but it's not. It's not the same, guys. They don't make it like that. They don't put all the stuff in that people put in it. It's very simple. And I think it tastes better. It's just my personal opinion. Look, that's just going to be good enough. I think we'll squish it over a little bit more. So yes, if you have a scoreboard, use it. I highly recommend that you use it, because you won't have these technical issues that I'm having. So yes, basically in Italy, the ragu is, the ragu, let me just clip that. The ragu is made, it's very simple. There's only very few ingredients in it. It has chopped up, diced onion, chopped up onion. You can use one of the yellow onions, white onion, or even a Spanish red onion. We call them Spanish onions. I don't know what you call them in other places. Yep, so diced up onion, chopped up carrots, maybe 3 carrots, 2 carrots, depending on how much you're making. And then, so let's just trim, no, we'll do that afterwards. Yep, I'll trim off just my rectangle. So yep, and I can trim that off. So let's start again. So diced up onion, chopped up carrots, and then a few sticks of celery chopped up as well. You saute the onion, and then you throw in your carrots and your celery, and you saute them with obviously with a little bit of olive oil. And then as far as meat is concerned, we have this friend, and she makes the most amazing tasty ragu you've ever tasted. Now I don't know all of her secrets, because obviously she's holding them dear to her heart. However, the secret is in the meat. So you have to use a mix of meats, and so she puts all kinds of different sort of meats on the bone, and probably a lot of you know the tastiest meat is the meat on the bone, and the most tender as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. And so anyway, so basically the meat that I put in is mince meat. So mine was beef, but they also had some sausage mince as well. So I put a little bit of 200 grams of that. I don't know what that is in pounds. So 200 grams. So I'm making a whole lot because I'm going to freeze it. And yeah, Lulu, it's the only sort of thing. Lulu loves it. So I'm just trying to make this the same as that one. I wish you wouldn't slide about. So it should be, if I go like that, it should be about right. Yeah, so minced meat, and if you can get a bit of minced pork as well, or sausage, Italian sausage mix, put that in. And then I got Italian sausages. Obviously we don't have here the sausages like what they have in Australia, that are kind of, I don't know what, goodness knows what goes in them. The Italian sausages, you can see the fat in there, and you can also see the what do I want to say? What do I want to say? You can see the pieces of meat in there, and there's not anything fancy in there at all. So if you can get Italian sausage, I'm going crooked. I'm getting excited about the ragu. If you can get Italian sausages, absolutely get those. Get a couple of those, and I just empty them out, like I squeeze out the meat and put it in. So basically, you've sautéed all your vegetables. I know I'm jumping all over the place. And then so I've got my mince, and then I get my 2 sausages and I empty those out, chuck it all in the pan with the veggies, and then I also got pork ribs, and they cut them very little like this for me, and then so yeah, just like a row of those, and you throw those in as well, and you sort of brown your meat so it's not pink anymore, or whatever color, and then you can salt it if you want to a little bit, and I did salt my vegetables a little bit as well while they're cooking, because the salt brings out the flavour. And then you just throw in your tomato puree. Obviously get a good tomato, nothing too, it has to be a nice tomato. Tomato puree, and you need a lot of it, and then you just let it simmer. The longer you cook it, the better it is. So I'm going to cook it for about 5 hours, and it's on the lowest. It's just there bubbling away very slightly, and it's going to cook for hours, and it's super yummy. So I've made one envelope here, I've made my other envelope, and I'm crossing my fingers because I didn't use a scoreboard or any measurements, that they are a similar size. Okay, and I'm just going to glue that down there. So there's my envelope. I've glued that one down. What a ding dong. And then I'm going to put them sideways, back to back, I want to say, like so. And I'm going to put my beader. I would actually prefer to stitch around them, but I did get a few comments. Oh, some people, I don't have a sewing machine. Well, if you don't have a sewing machine, use glue. Everything that can be done on the sewing machine can be glued. It just means that you have to glue right to the edges. You just have to be very careful that you get all your gluing right to the edges. That's the only difference. So because I'm using my sewing machine at the end just to stitch around the border, I don't have to bring my glue right to the edges. That's the only difference. With the glassine bags, those journals that I made where we slipped in the papers into the bag so you could see it through the bag, well, you would just glue shut the opening. You don't need to glue anything else. It doesn't matter. You could put a teeny tiny bit of glue on your pieces of paper if you wanted to. Yep, you could do that if you wanted to. And then, what do I want to say? Oh, I'm having a blank. I'm thinking about my ragu. If I said everything about my ragu, you see my brain jumps all over the place. You could put a little dab of glue on your pieces of paper that you slipped in, but I don't think you really need to, because you've got the folds that'll hold them in place. And then I stitched in my thing, but then you would hand stitch in your pages. You would do your, pamphlet stitch is what you would do. And that would be fine. Now let's get back to what we're doing. So I've glued 2 envelopes together and got a little tuck spot in there. So there you go, there you have it. And so here, what I don't like is this rectangle sort of shape here. And I'm just wondering, are they dry enough? Maybe I'll put some clips. Put some clips on there to make sure they stay together, because what I'm going to do is I better check the time. Okay, I'm going to go to the post office. Fold them in half. Might bring that one down a bit. Hopefully I don't mess it up. Go like this. So I get them all the same. All the same they need to be. So there we go. And I like going from the bottom up. So I'm going from my crease. I can see my crease here. I'm going to start there and just go up. There we go. And there you have it. Got a nice shape. and they just need to be decorated. Okay. Maria, you're a very clever lady. We do appreciate it. And there you go. Pocket there. Pocket there. And pocket there. I sound like, you know who I sound like, I'm reminding myself of, is Eva from Bohemian Crafting. She always goes, pocket there, pocket there, pocket there. She's so funny. Such a happy lady. And full of wonderful, amazing ideas. Too hard for me, but I still do like watching her videos. So there we go. So we've got two ways. We did them. We folded it the long way, and then we did two this way. So the long way makes this cute little envelope, and then the other way you have to put two together, and you get a nice bigger sized envelope. So pretty much, I think. I know you'd have to fold it more than that to get it in there. Oh yeah. Anyway, so that, I thought they're really cool. I'm going to have to put those in my ideas book, aren't I? That's where those will go. I won't decorate those ones. And again, yeah, you can do it with your pretty papers here, but obviously I didn't print on that side, so I need to glue something on the other side. Maybe we'll make one of those. Let's glue this down. I'll do one more. Let's glue this down. And just make another long envelope. And the reason being also for the direction that the pattern is going on the paper. It's going horizontally, not vertically. Well, it's spreading out horizontally. It is, yes, if you know what I mean. Oh, get out of my way. I don't know if I got glue everywhere, did I? Okay. And then I'll just put that on there. And then, now where's my little card gone? So did I even do much in this video? I gave you a recipe. So the secret to really tasty ragu is not all these herbs and bay leaves and all that sort of stuff, because they don't put that stuff in there. Unless maybe different regions in Italy. In this region they don't. The ragu is very simple. But if you put all the different meats in there, yum, yum, yum. I think that hers is even, my friend's is even more tasty than mine. She obviously has put some other things in there that I don't know about. Some other meats. I think she puts a bigger variety of different meats on the bone. I know she has a lot of different meats, and then cooking them for 5 hours, then the meat just drops off the bone, and it's very and it kind of, you know, dissolves away into the sauce. And also, if you can also make a whole lot of it. So I bought a whole lot of meat, and you make a big thing of it, and then it has to be fresh meat. You can't have frozen the meat and then pull it out to do it. So if it's fresh meat that hasn't been frozen yet, then you can, excuse me, glue, then you can, what did I want to say? You can, so I'll just do my folding and then I'll speak. You know, put it into airtight containers, and they're in portions of what you think you might need for a pasta or to make lasagna or whatever. And then, so which way do I want up? I think I want that up, the back side up. So if I go like, so if my top is here upside down, then that's correct. Okay. So if you, what I'm doing here is I'm going to make, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I folded it in the wrong spot. Yeah, you put it into airtight containers, and then you can put it in the freezer. But you obviously, we all know you don't refreeze already frozen meat, because then you can get, you know, there's bacteria and things. It's very dangerous. Okay, snip that off. Now I mustn't talk about ragu while I'm trying to craft, because it's causing me all kinds of problems, wouldn't we say? So that can go up there, fold it. It's upside down, I know, but that's the way it's going to be. I'm going to trim this off. You'll be experts at making envelopes by the end of this, with the little flappy things that you glue down. So I did put some glue, but I'm actually going to stitch around these as well. So even if they're not glued properly, it should be fine. And I haven't cut that very well. Okay, I'm sure lots of you ladies have even easier methods than this. Let me just see, that's all glued down, I think. So I'm going to put my glue here. So this is a super long envelope, but what I thought was, or you could cut it in half and make two, which would be cute. Might do that. Because I don't want to fold this one in that way, because then you don't see that nice stuff, the nice paper, do you? So I'm going to cut this one in half. And then I'll have two envelopes. Two for the price of one. So I need to get I'll get my chomper. Now, how long is it? How many inches is it? I've got inches on here. Oh, I hope it's easy inches. Oh yes, 10 inches, that's easy. So then, but I need to find, I don't think I've got a 5 on here, I've got a 4. Where's 5? I have to put my ruler on there. That's how you do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. One can be bigger or smaller. Chop it. There you go. I've got 2 envelopes for the price of one, except they don't have flaps on that one. I'll just put a little bit of glue down there. Actually, I'll just stitch that. I don't even look. See, there's no flap in there, but you don't. Doesn't matter. So, and that's upside down, but that's not. Oh, that was probably better to have that up the right way. What I'm going to do is just hold this over here like so. So you can look, even if I make all these mistakes all the time, you guys can learn from them and not make them. Okay, so that is that. That's that envelope. I think these are wonderful. Such a nice size. Put a little label or little collagey thing on there. And you know, you don't have the like normally I would just fold a piece of paper and get this square, you know, this rectangle sort of shape. Okay, and I'm going to trim that off, and I'm going to call this video done because I have to go out. Okay, so that is that. I don't know when I'm going to post this. So lots of little envelopes with tucks from the very clever Maria. I think it's Houseofcraftbymaria. That one I haven't decided. I have to decide if it's going to open. These were the ones that I showed you that I tried it out yesterday when I first saw the video. So how cool are they? And they really are very, very, very fast. So thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.